Hi everyone, I'm Brielle, and I'm here to talk to you about gaming and the gaming community. The gaming community has grown exponentially over the past 10 years. According to PR Newswire, that published an article in 2005, there are around 2 million members of the Xbox Live community in more than 24 countries. That was doubling in just a year, adding a new member every 30 seconds. Now, around 155 million Americans play video games, and 4 out of 5 US households own a device that's used to play video games. With such a vast amount of people in the gaming community, there's always going to be a stigma and stereotypes. And some of the stereotypes are they're male, young, pale from too much time spent indoors gaming, socially inept, overweight, lazy, obsessive, aggressive, have poor hygiene, and are ultimately addicted to games. And in the article that addresses the stigma and stereotypes of gamers is called Greek or Chic: Emerging Stereotypes of Online Gamers. And what they do is they do a research of the stereotypes, both and the personal views of non-gamers and gamers alike. And they did this by having 4 categories that they rate gamers through an online survey. And the 4 categories were unattractiveness, idleness, unpopularity, and social incompetence. The personal views of non-gamers identified gamers as more of the stereotypical way. They viewed them as unpopular usually, idle, and socially incompetent, but not necessarily unattractive. The gamers viewed themselves as, for the most part, in a non-stereotypical way, except they excluded unpopularity, because most of them felt that that may be a true aspect of a gamer. In another article, they did a research on demographics and motivations of online gamers. The average age is around 26 years old, and that is technically young, but the stereotype was more towards the age of 19 years old or younger. They spend 22 hours per week online in gaming, and 87% are male. So the male stereotype is definitely true, but it's definitely not the lazy stereotype. About 50% of the gamers either had at least an undergraduate degree or were still in college. So they definitely were working towards something, whatever their degree may be. And income level was 45% still studying, 21% were below 35,000, 20% between 35 and 60,000 a year, and 14% were above 60,000. There are multiple benefits to gaming, and it's definitely talked about in the article Leadership in Multiplayer Online Gaming Environments, where they talk about how the video games create an environment where you have to use teamwork in order to achieve goals, which ultimately makes people leaders, and also it gives people experience in working with others. Because one time in your life, whether you're still in school or in the workforce, you're going to have to work with other people. They also talk about how the games have risk-free environment that encourage trial and error actions and give instant feedback, which stimulate curiosity, discovery, learning, and perseverance. And the replayability of the games allows the learner to try again with a modified approach if they fail or don't get the desired outcome that they like. and it allows them to make and learn from the mistakes without the consequences there would be, let's say, in real life. And game-based learning produces immediate feedback, active participation, and high levels of interactivity, which increases the retention of information supplied. So most of the research articles that were made are mostly about the negative effects of gaming, and today I looked at the positives of gaming, and even though I did talk about stereotypes, hoping that maybe that talking about the other side of gaming would change your idea on gamers and games themselves, because they can be beneficial. And also, you probably have somebody in your life that loves to play games, and maybe it wouldn't hurt to just jump in every once in a while and join them, or just watch them a couple of times, because you can find a lot of fun out of just watching and playing games.